Page 439, book 6, Canto 2.
Yes, book 6.
So, we are on the Queen speaking to Narad,
Yes.
and she ends by saying, "It's payment of the tax of time and fate, its way to suffer and its way to die.
Wow. Yeah.
This is the ransom of our high estate, the sign and stamp of our humanity. A grisly company of melodies come, licensed lodgers, into man's bodily house, purveyors of death and torturers of life.
Yeah, you've got to work on your V a little bit more. Purveyors.
Pur-
Purvey,
purveyors, purveyors,
purveyors, yes.
purveyors. Okay.
So she's continuing on saying these things, and she says this grisly company of maladies. A grisly company is a gruesome company, a formidable
Hmm.
company, very horrible, grim.
Hmm.
They come into our life as licensed lodgers into our physical body. Very, very shocking.
Hmm.
And they are purveyors of death. A purveyor is someone who supplies some particular thing or a quality. So they're supplying here death
Hmm.
and torture of life. And you can see how strongly she feels about life itself.
Yeah.
Uh, we have a payment to make of the tax of time and fate. Obviously, time wears down our bodies, and fate is what we bring with us
Hmm.
from past lives. And it is a way that we can suffer, and it's a way that we die. So we suffer, we die, and that is the ransom of this estate, of our high estate, she says. It's the
Hmm.
sign and the stamp. The stamp is the mark,
Yeah.
stamp our humanity.
Yeah.
So she's very strong on this. Well, we'll carry on then.
In the malignant hollows of the world, in its subconscious cavern passages, ambushed they lie waiting their horror. Ambushed they lie waiting their hour to leap, surrounding with danger the sieged city of life, admitted into the citadel of man's days, they mine his force and maim or suddenly kill.
Wow, there's so much here. We'll have to take it very slowly, huh?
Yeah.
In the malignant hollows of the world. Well, something that is malignant is very dangerous or harmful in its effect or its influence.
Hmm.
Obviously,
Like something evil.
uh, yes,
Here.
it's certainly evil. It's a malevolence. It's disposed to do evil, and so
Yeah.
we say that you have a malignancy in your body
Yeah.
when one has cancer. It's
Yeah.
a very, very shocking thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the hollows of the world. The interesting word he uses here. It's the it's the empty space, the voids of the world. I remember the hollows we used to go into in the forest when the earth would drop way down and then come
Hmm.
back up. They were like big, big hollows.
Hmm.
so voids or empty spaces. In the subconscious cavern passages, well, we should look at what Sri Aurobindo says again about the subconscious because it's very, very important. The
Hmm.
subconscious is a concealed and unexpressed, inarticulate consciousness. So it is a consciousness
Hmm.
which works below all our conscious physical activities. Just as what we call the superconscious is really a higher consciousness above from which things descend into the being, so the subconscious conscious is below the body consciousness and things come up into the physical, the vital, and the mind nature from there.
Hmm.
Wow. And then that was from his letters on yoga, and he has one more. And there are many more, of course, but just to give you this idea, just as the higher consciousness is superconscious to us and supports all our spiritual possibilities and nature, so the subconscious is the basis of our material being and supports all that comes up in the physical nature. So it's
Hmm.
not always negative.
Negative, yeah. He says it supports the material life.
Yes, here, but and then he also says it's below the body consciousness, and it comes up in the physical, the vital, and the mind nature.
Hmm.
So he's made it very clear to us. And then the word cavern passages. Well,
Hmm.
it's just a big cave.
Yeah, like a cave.
Yeah. Then he says ambushed. Well, we usually use ambushed as a past tense.
Hmm.
The fellow was ambushed as he was going home. We could say
Yeah, like attacked.
attacked, yes.
Yeah.
Usually, ambushed has to do with more than one person, but that's okay. But here, the word ambushed is concealed as
Hmm.
so as to suddenly burst forth, come into view, or take
Hmm.
someone by surprise. So
Hmm.
it's almost the same, but it's different. So
Okay.
it is ambushed. You see, he says they lie, waiting their hour to leap. So they're lying in concealment, waiting to
Hmm.
burst forth and take someone by surprise. Here,
Hmm.
here it is the soul,
Hmm. Hmm.
surrounding
Okay.
with danger, the sieged city of life. Wow. Something that is sieged, Prema, is assaulted.
Yeah.
Yeah, besieged.
Yeah.
Besieged is another word, yeah.
So she's saying that this she's saying this life the life which she's comparing to a city that it
Yeah,
is sieged by danger, like the danger is
yes,
surrounding life.
absolutely. Surrounded by danger, yes.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, even besieged. If a country or a town is besieged, it's s-
Yeah.
swamped
Yeah. Yeah.
by
Yeah. I understand the meaning. Yeah.
and
Like
then
captured.
yeah, almost at the state of being captured.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
actually, more assaulted or
Okay.
assailed. And
Okay.
then finally, she says, admitted into the citadel of man's days. Well, here a citadel is like a fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the army technology, it's a fortress that commands a city. So the
Mm-hmm.
fortress in the olden days, the fortress would always be in front of the city to protect it,
Hmm.
and it would be manned by soldiers and etc. and
Yeah.
weapons all to protect it. So here it's admitted to and admitted into the citadel of man stays. So they're admitted, these forces who are ambushed and siege, they're admitted into the citadel of man stays because we allow it.
Hmm.
We allow these forces to enter us.
Hmm.
And what do? They mine his force. Now, to mine is to remove something, like
Hmm.
when you mine metals or gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they can maim. Maim is injure,
Mm-hmm.
disfigure, disable. And so they maim or they suddenly kill.
Hmm.
Oh, she's very, very strong on this.
Hmm.
Very strong. But of course, she's hurt.
Yeah.
She's deeply hurt because of the Narad's prediction or prophecy. And
Hmm.
now she continues.
Ourselves within us, lethal forces nurse. We make our own enemies our guests.
No, we make of our own enemies.
We make, I'll start from ourselves.
Sure.
Ourselves within us, lethal forces nurse. We make of our own enemies our guests. Out of their holes, like beasts, they creep and gnaw. The chords of the divine musicians lyre,
Liar.
lyre,
Liar.
lyre. The chords of the divine musician's lyre, till frayed and thin the music dies away, or crashing snaps with a last tragic note.
So Sri Aurobindo is giving us here this idea of yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. Let me go over a couple of things first. When you
Yeah.
say out of their holes like beasts, they creep and but they don't creep and gnaw, they creep and gnaw the chords of the divine musician's lyre. So you have
Mm.
to keep that sense going into the next line. So that's very
Okay.
important. Okay. Now, ourselves within us, well, we nurse these lethal forces.
Mm.
And lethal is deadly or fatal.
Mm.
Not only that, but we make of our own enemies our guests. This is something that, unfortunately, uh, not a large segment perhaps of humanity, but certainly a segment um, when when these killers, rapists, thieves allow a being to get inside of them,
Mm.
they make our enemies our guests.
Mm.
And what do these guests do? When they come out of their holes, these forces, like beasts, they
Mm.
creep and gnaw the chords of the divine musician's lyre. A lyre is
It's an
like a
instrument.
harp, like a harp,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Until the strings, till frayed and thin, the music dies away, or crashing, snaps with the last tragic note. When one is playing one of these instruments, if the chord, whatever they use for
Snaps.
chord,
Yeah.
if it snaps, it makes
Uh,
a snapping sound.
mm. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then she says the chords of the divine musicians, that's the Lord, his lyre, until frayed and thin the music dies away because the instrument has snapped or
Yeah.
crashed.
Yeah.
So the instrument here is man's body.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then she continues again. There's so much to cover with you in this. We can't go too quickly, you know.
Yeah.
We have
I
to
was
be,
also thinking to reread this line because you said the connection has to flow from the line to the next one. So
yeah,
I'll
even
read
there,
that.
yeah, even though there's a briefest hesitation, it
Yeah,
has, you have to feel the flow.
correct.
But
Okay.
do that now, and then we'll do it. You'll do the whole thing in the end again.
Okay, yeah.
But do it now again, sure.
Yeah. Ourselves within us lethal forces nurse. We make of our own enemies our guests.
No,
Out of the
no, you see, there's a colon there. We make of our own enemies our guests. It has to
we
end somehow, not a full stop period, but but it is but it is
like a pause.
it's a pause, yes.
Yeah. We make of our own enemies our guests. Out of their holes like beasts, they creep and gnaw the chords of the divine musician's lyre, till frayed and thin the music dies away, or crashing, snaps with a last tragic note.
Yeah, I would have read the line till frayed and thin the music dies away.
Hmm.
So it's frayed and thin. You accented thin, but you didn't get the feeling of the line.
Okay.
Till frayed and thin, the
Hmm.
music dies away, or
Hmm.
crashing, snaps with the
Hmm.
last tragic note. See, there have to be gentle emphasis for certain words, but not too strong.
Got
Okay,
it. Okay. Hmm.
so all that we are.
All that we are is like a fort beset. All that we strive to be alters like a dream.
No, no, no. All that we strive to be alters like a dream.
Hmm. All that we are is like a fort beset. All that we strive to be alters like a dream
Good.
in the grey sleep of matter's ignorance.
Again, Sri Aurobindo is carrying on with these two themes. One is the fort, and we just had the citadel, and we had
Mm-hmm.
the city of life sieged. You see, ambushed.
Yeah.
So he's carrying on this the man's house. This is basically,
Hmm.
but it's like a city that is attacked.
Hmm.
And then he says, all that we are is like a fort beset. Beset means to be attacked from all sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hemmed in, surrounded.
Yeah.
And then he says, all that we strive to be alters like a dream. Now, what is alter? Alter means
Change.
to change in character, huh? Or
Yeah.
shape, or condition, or whatever.
Yeah.
In the gray sleep of matter's ignorance. Well, we've gone through ignorance and we've gone through matter before, but we could do it again also in the future because
Mm-hmm.
these things are important words. I mean, what
Mm-hmm.
actually does Sri Aurobindo say about matter? So let's not do it today because we have so much to go through, but we'll pick it up another day. And
Okay.
ignorance, we know we're pretty clear on ignorance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we begin again. This is such a beautiful, powerful line.
Mine suffers lamed by the world's disharmony and the unloveliness of human things. A treasure misspent or cheaply, fruitlessly sold in the bazaar of a blind destiny, a gift of priceless value from time's gods, lost or mislaid in an uncaring world. Life is a marvel missed, an art gone wry,
Rye,
right,
yes.
an art gone dry, a seeker in a dark and obscure place, an ill-armed warrior facing dreadful odds, an imperfect worker given a baffling task, an ignorant judge of problems ignorance made. Its heavenward flights reach closed and keyless gates, its glorious outbursts peter out in mire.
Yes, there's a lot here. Now, there was a line, a treasure.
Pressure.
I don't think that's the correct pronunciation, but let us look it up because I think it's treasure.
Treasure. Okay. Treasure. A
Well,
treasure misspent.
yeah, I want to get. I want to get Cambridge. Here it is. Cambridge says
Treasure,
treasure,
Treasure.
treasure,
and Americans say treasure, so it's treasure,
treasure,
treasure.
Treasure.
They keep the second syllable shorter, treasure,
Treasure.
and then
A
here it is
treasure.
again.
treasure,
Yeah, it's always treasure in British English. So I think you're fairly close to it. Not
Okay.
bad at all. Now, what we started with was
Yeah.
all that we
All
strive
that
to
we see.
be alters like a dream.
Yeah.
And in the gray sleep of matter's ignorance,
Ignorance.
mind suffers, lamed. What is lamed? Oh, when one is lame, one can hardly walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lamed by the world's disharmony and the unloveliness of human things. It's a very interesting and beautiful line because um, William Butler Yeats also says something like, all things unlovely and untrue. And Sri Aurobindo says, and the unloveliness of human things. Wow, why are human things unlovely? What a sad statement. So the world's disharmony creates this unloveliness in human things.
Hmm.
Now, a treasure misspent or cheaply, fruitlessly sold, something that is fruitless doesn't have any results
Hmm.
without success.
Yeah.
Something fruitlessly is without success.
Yeah.
In the bazaar of a blind destiny. A bazaar is basically an Oriental term. We don't have
Yeah.
bazaars. We don't have bazaars in the West.
Yeah. We still refer that as
Yeah,
bazaar.
it's like a
Yeah.
market street
Yeah.
lined with shops and all. That's
Yeah.
the bazaar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here it's a bazaar of a blind destiny.
Yeah.
Now, she says it's also a gift of priceless value from time's gods,
Hmm.
lost or mislaid in an uncaring world. Life is a marvel missed, an art gone wry. Now, wry is usually something satirical or mocking.
Hmm.
Uh, a person's face can be a wry look, can be a look of disgust or disappointment.
Hmm.
He had a wry look. So
Hmm.
life is this marvel that's missed, and she says life is an art that's also gone wry.
Hmm.
And then she says, a seeker in a dark and obscure place, an ill-armed warrior facing dreadful odds, an imperfect worker given a baffling task. Something that's baffling is very confused or
Hmm.
bewildered.
Yeah.
If you're baffled by something, you're really confused.
Cannot really understand. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
ignorant, yes, go ahead.
an art gone dry, like here,
No, gone
wh- wh-
wry, rah, rah.
rye.
Just like
Right.
rye,
Yeah.
rye,
Yeah.
but it's WRY,
Right.
rye,
Okay. Right.
mocking, mocking.
Okay. Mocking. Okay. Yeah. So baffled. So the imperfect worker is given a baffling task. He's already imperfect, and he's given a more confusing task.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's very true often of what should I say? I don't want to sound egotistical, but in people with smaller minds or very early in the evolutionary stage,
Hmm.
they're often ignorant of so many things.
Hmm.
But even we can be ignorant judges of the problems that ignorance made.
Hmm.
Powerful statement. Notice that Sri Aurobindo capitalizes ignorance.
Ignorance. Yeah.
And I'm going to just, I think we need to focus on that for a few moments because
So,
it's very important. And Sri Aurobindo has used it many, many times in Savitri. We'll come upon it so many times. So let me give you some idea of what he says about ignorance. Let's see now, it's right here. Okay. Um, oh, sorry, here it is. Sherman says ignorance is the absence of the divine eye of
hmm.
perception, which gives us the supramental truth. It is the non perceiving principle in our consciousness, as opposed to the truth perceiving conscious vision and knowledge. That's from the Life Divine.
Hmm.
Now, he says again in the Life Divine, all ignorance is a penumbra which environs an orb of knowledge. What is a penumbra? It's like a shadow
Hmm.
over the orb of,
Hmm.
of knowledge, see? And then he says, this world is not really created by a blind force of nature. Even in the inconscient, the presence of the supreme truth is at work.
Hmm.
There is a seeing power behind it, which acts infallibly, and the steps of the ignorance itself are guided even when they seem to stumble. For what we call the ignorance is a cloaked knowledge. Wow. A knowledge at work in a body not its own, but moving towards its own supreme self discovery. It's a fantastic statement. So,
Hmm.
this ignorance is so important, and we have to pay attention to it because here the queen is saying just the opposite,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
She's saying that life, our people, the human being, is an
Yeah.
imperfect worker giving a frustrated, bewildering task, baffling task. And he is an
Mm.
ignorant judge of problems that ignorance made.
Mm.
And then we have its heavenward flights reached closed and keyless gates. So she feels that there's
No way out of this.
no way out of it. And
Yeah.
she's its glorious outbursts peter out in mire. Peter out is an old term that we used to use uh, to diminish gradually, uh, to
Okay.
to dwindle down to nothing. Well, you've got a lot to read today, and it's not so easy. So you have to be
Yeah.
very patient. Take your time,
So
and
shall we stop here?
yeah, we stop there because you have to read
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And I want you to do it as consciously as possible.
Yeah.
I might stop you and correct you if there's something
Yes,
really wrong,
please.
but do
Yeah. Yes.
do try to tell me the story of what has
Yes.
happened, what she's saying. Try to feel her pain. Try to feel
Yeah.
her negativity,
Mm.
the darkness that she feels.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll start from the top of the page.
Yes, yes.
Its payment of the tax of time and fate, its way to suffer and its way to die. This is the ransom of our high estate, the sign and stamp of our humanity.
Yes, but you want to say that negatively.
Okay.
This is the ransom of our high estate, the sign and stamp of our humanity. See, you were a little bit too sweet when you read it.
Okay.
You, you,
This is the ransom of our high estate, as if she's complaining about it.
yeah, yes, she's
Okay.
complaining. She's complaining constantly.
This is the ransom of our high estate, the sign and stamp of our humanity. A
Great, great.
grisly company of maladies come licensed lodgers into man's bodily house, purveyors of death and torturers of life. In the malignant hollows of the world, in its subconscious cavern passages, ambushed, they lie waiting their hour to leap, surrounding with danger the sieged city of life, admitted into the citadel of man's days.
Yes, but
They
you had a
mine
colon there. You had a colon there. And now she's saying something different. So you have to change your voice quality a little bit.
okay,
Surrounding with danger,
with
the
danger
city of life.
city of life, admitted into the citadel of man's days. They mine his foes and maim or suddenly kill. Ourselves with us,
Within us.
ourselves within us, lethal forces nurse. We make of our own enemies our guests.
No, you're
Out of
too positive. You're too positive.
okay,
Ourselves within us, lethal forces nurse. We make of our own enemies our guests.
ourselves within us, lethal forces nurse. We make of our own enemies our guests. Out of their holes, like beasts, they creep and gnaw the chords of the divine musician's lyre, till frayed and thin the music dies away, or crashing snaps with a last tragic note. All that we are is like a fort beset, all that we strive to be alters like a dream, in the grey sleep of matter's ignorance.
I would connect those two lines a little better. All that we
All
strive
that
to
we
be alters
strive to be
dream.
alters like a dream, in the grey sleep of matter's ignorance.
Good.
Mind suffers, lamed by world's disharmony,
By the
and the
world. By the worlds. Reading too fast. Slow down.
mind suffers, lamed by the world's disharmony, and the unloveliness of human things. A treasure misspent or cheaply, fruitlessly sold in the bazaar of a blind destiny, a gift of priceless value from time's gods, lost or mislaid in an uncaring world. Life is a marvel missed, an art gone dry, a seeker in a dark and obscure place, an ill-armed warrior facing dreadful odds, an imperfect worker given a baffling task, an ignorant judge of problems,
No, you're
ignorance,
too fast. Too fast.
a seeker in a dark and obscure place, an ill-armed warrior facing dreadful odds, an imperfect worker given a baffling task, an ignorant judge of problems, ignorance made.
Very good.
It's an ignorant judge of problems, ignorance made. Its heavenward flights reach closed and keyless gates. Its glorious outbursts peter out in mire.
Not bad. But I'm going to give you some homework.
Okay.
When we start again
Yeah.
on Thursday, I'd like you
Yeah.
to read this passages to begin
Okay.
with. This whole
Okay.
passage. We had a
Yeah.
very long session and a very challenging session
Yeah.
because the Queen has still a lot more to say.
Yeah.
So much more. And you
Yeah.
see, the Queen is representing all the beings on this earth who have voiced problems uh, that whether the existentialists or the nihilists
Mm.
or the Advaitists, whatever they
Mm.
may be, they have
Yeah.
voiced these same things. Some of them
Yeah.
says only by Jesus you can get into heaven.
Mm.
No other way. It's on a sign as I go down my street now,
Mm.
on the Baptist church sign.
Mm. Okay.
Only through Jesus, otherwise you won't get there. And another one
Okay.
says everything here is illusion. So
Mm.
just escape it.
Mm.
Find nirvana and escape it. Now what she is saying is is even more poignant
Mm.
because it's about her daughter.
Yeah.
She's trying to understand, she's trying to not only understand but to voice all of these problems that she sees on earth and with humanity.
Mm.
And you see the next line that we're going to read on the gifts of nature, on nature's gifts to man, a curse was laid. So now
Mm.
she's going to speak about what this curse was.
Yeah.
So it's,
It's still going on. It's still going on into the next page.
it will
Two,
go on
two,
for
two
quite a
more
while.
pages. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Thursday, I read like from top of this page.
Yeah, and then we'll go
Yeah.
into the next page. Yeah.
Next one. All right.
Wonderful. Good. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you
Quite a
so much.
session. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.